Do you want to know the secret to great leadership? Well, you got to watch this video to the end because I'm going to share with you 10 habits of great leaders. Let's dive right in with habit number 1. Listen intentionally and speak less. Especially as young and emerging leaders, we sometimes feel like we have to pretend that we've got it all figured out. We feel like that we need to show that we have all the answers. We need to come in and make big moves and kind of show that we have what it takes. But the secret really is to stop, ask questions, and listen. Start to understand your team. Start to understand what's important for them. Where are their challenges? What are their ambitions and goals? By using active listening and tuning into your empathy, you can really draw out some powerful insights from your team members, and you will also be able to build and gain their trust because they feel like you are listening to them and that they are important to you as a leader. In the result, this will also foster and increase collaboration amongst your team members, and you will be able to build an effective team based on trust from the start. Habit number 2. Strength-based development. The first thing when you look at your team should be to start to see everyone for who they really are, embracing their uniqueness and take them as they are. Not thinking about who you want to change and how you want to change them or who is frustrating you and why. Start to first look at their strength. Look at what they are providing for the team and how they can contribute by using their unique strength. From there, we then want to provide regular strengths-based feedback. We want them to be able to see how their strengths actually work in action and that we see them for their strength. And as a result, you will also want to provide regularly negative feedback or productive, effective feedback to help them improve in the areas that they need to improve in. Instead of saying this is wrong with you, we want to start by saying this is right with you. And here are some areas that you can become more effective by using your strength. And also, I can see that this area is a little bit harder for you. So let's figure out some strategies to make it a bit easier and smoother in the long run. Habit number 3 is embracing the tough conversations. And this connects a little bit to the point of giving feedback that I shared in the habit before. As leaders, it's so important that we do not avoid tough conversations. I talk about this a lot with my clients and also on this channel because it's of course one thing that we feel uncomfortable with. We don't like providing negative feedback. We don't like to set boundaries because we're worried about conflict and about consequences and awkward conversations. However, great leaders don't shy away from difficult conversations. They know that they have to prepare for the conversations and that they need to happen. With this, you can build trust and your own courage, and you can really build the relationship with your employees because you are clear in setting your boundaries and providing feedback. It's really great because then they know where they are at, they know where they can develop, and everyone else on the team sees that you take things serious and that you set boundaries and live by your values. In the long run, this will prevent issues from escalating and becoming big problems for your team, and it will foster trust and transparency amongst your team members. Habit number 4. Great leaders make an effort to include everyone within the team. This ensures that every team member feels valued, no matter where they come from, no matter their differences, no matter their cultural background, their age, their gender. Everyone should feel seen and valued within a team. And great team leaders, they actually check their own bias regularly to make sure that they do not discriminate against anyone on the team, that they do not avoid conversations with the person, that they do not let their own bias get in the way of having good relationships and productive and effective relationships with their team members. So examples for this could be to make an effort to know how to pronounce the name properly, or to understand the pronouns of a person on your team. Showing interest in their personal lives, remembering big dates or big celebrations that they might have going on. These are all little examples of showing that you care for the people and that you want to build a relationship. And to take this a bit further, you can then start to highlight everybody's strength, give positive feedback in front of everyone else, bring them into team discussions, include them in your water cooler chats or at lunch, and really make an effort to check who you spend your time with. This will foster a culture of diversity and equity and will improve your collaboration and the overall culture in your team. You will have a team of high psychological safety if you ensure that everybody feels included and seen and valued in your team. Habit number 5. Great leaders do not accept bad or difficult behavior. This means that bad leaders do speak up and challenge toxic behavior of other team members in the team. They will speak up if somebody is not acting according to the team values, is not acting respectfully towards another person, or is just showing toxic behaviors of trying to make other people look smaller and trying to put others down. Sometimes on teams, you also might observe bullying behavior. And great leaders do not tolerate toxic behavior, even if these team members are highly productive and get results, because the cost along the way is that they will hurt other people on the team or even your clients, customers, or other stakeholders. So you want to address difficult behavior head on and then make sure that you provide feedback, have a conversation around what needs to be changed, and this will foster a culture of accountability and respect. Habit number 6. Great leaders regularly challenge their own unconscious bias. Unconscious bias are our natural patterns that help us make sense of all the data points that we receive day in, day out. I have a few videos that I've linked up here in a playlist that you can watch on unconscious bias in leadership and for everyone else. But we all have these biases and they filter the information and they have an impact on what we think, how we behave and act, and what we say. And this can have an impact on how you treat your employees, going back to the habit of making everyone feel included. So it can result in you treating people differently on your team. But it can also have an impact on who do you give development opportunities, who do you include in new projects, and it can have an impact on your hiring decisions, because we are, based on our unconscious bias, we are looking for people that are similar to us because that's what makes us feel safe. And so we want to make sure that we do regularly check our own bias to ensure that we have the best decision making possible and that we don't differentiate or discriminate against the people that we work with or potential candidates. Habit number 7 is clear communication and transparency about goals and priorities. So as a great leader, you want to communicate goals and your priorities regularly and clearly to make sure that there is alignment amongst team members and that everybody knows what is expected of them. I see it time and time again that not enough time is put in to really prepare and understand how the company goals, the organizational goals, actually are translated down to be meaningful goals for your team members. You can't just copy and paste organizational goals because they are not meaningful for your team members. You got to understand how their actions, how their tasks, how their roles impact the goals and define their own unique individual goals. From there, you want to set clear performance management goals and development goals, and also understand what you measure, how you measure success. What does good look like? What does great look like? And what are realistic timeframes for these goals? This way, you will have a much easier process of understanding how everybody is tracking. You can have fantastic conversations about their development and their performance, and there will be transparency within the team of who is doing what and who is responsible for achieving which goals. Overall, this will lead to your team being more productive, more effective, and also collaborating much better together. Habit number 8 is that great leaders embrace a growth mindset. The growth mindset work is based on the work by Dr. Carol Dweck, and it pretty much talks about this understanding and attitude that we all have the ability to pick up new things. We're not just born with our knowledge, our intelligence. We can actually grow into new challenges and learn and acquire new skills. And what this means for you as a leader is that you embrace mistakes, that you ensure that your team understands that mistakes are part of learning and growing. And also that you don't have the expectations that they need to know everything straight away, that they're allowed to grow, learn, trial things, and also, of course, make mistakes and then learn from these mistakes to come to better outcomes. You want to encourage experimenting and a culture of continuous improvement. Habit number 9 is that great leaders help their team members win. This is an important one because some leaders have this mindset of it's me, I'm the best here, I'm the center of attention, and it's all about me and my career and me advancing in my career. But great leaders understand that it's not about them, it's actually about their team. As a leader, your role is to help your team and empower them to do the best work they can. And to do that, you sometimes have to take your ego aside. You got to start to think about how can you support your team members to win? What do they need from you? What do they need more of or less of? How can you make the path easier for them and support their development? You want to foster a culture of shared success and collaboration. Because if you lead with this example of it's just about me and I want to win, then you will foster a culture of people that are very, very self-centered and will never collaborate and will not trust one another and will kind of pit against each other. So you can lead by example by empowering your team, taking yourself back. But of course, if your team is successful, you will be successful as a leader. But it doesn't have to be your face on everything. Habit number 10 of great leaders is that they invest time and lots of effort into their preparation and their leadership. Great leadership does not happen by accident. Great leadership is very, very intentional. Something I work on with my one-on-one clients a lot is preparing for conversations, for feedback, for team meetings, for presentations. We always prepare and reflect. We always take time to understand what is my desired outcome, what's my intention here, what are potential challenges or issues that could get in the way, and then how can I prepare myself as effective as possible to communicate properly in these meetings. So this could be preparation for one-on-one meetings, for your team meetings, for performance management meetings, goal setting, feedback, any kind of communication with your team. You got to prepare and put in the work. If you just go in and wing it day in, day out, you're not going to be an effective leader. You won't be able to communicate your points properly. It will lead to misunderstandings and conflicts. And you also might not be able to provide the feedback that your people need in order to improve on their performance. So we got to really change our mindset of just winging it and I can do it. And I'm a great leader because I put in the work. These were the 10 habits of great leaders. Please let me know in the comments which habit you are most excited about to try out and implement in your toolbox. Or maybe you're already on top of it and can share some examples of how you're implementing these habits. I've linked a few videos that could be helpful for you to further develop your leadership, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon.